What is going on, Patriots fans? This is Jace back with another edition of the Patriots Drive podcast. Guys, today we have mock draft 14. We have done a ton of these. Appreciate the support on all of them. So we're going to get into this one. This is still a 5-round mock draft. It does not include the pick we just got from the Cowboys for Joe Milton, which we will be going over here shortly. Live stream coming up with that mock draft. So make sure that you guys are like, subscribe, and comment down below your thought on this mock draft, what you like, what you do different. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. This video is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. At Underdog Fantasy, you can pick higher or lower on 2 or more players for your chance to win 20, 30, or even 1,000 times your money in a single night. The best part about Underdog Fantasy is it's available in 33 of the 50 states. So what are you waiting for? Use code PATSDRIVE and get your first deposit matched up to $1,000 and join the millions of fans who have won on Underdog Fantasy. Make sure to download the app on the App Store or go to underdogfantasy.com. Okay, jumping right into it, guys. Going off of a couple rumors, it's looking more and more likely after Colorado's Pro Day, that that the Cleveland Browns are going to be looking at taking possibly Travis Hunter over Abdul Carter or someone at the second overall pick, and then that would leave Shadur Sanders or Abdul Carter for the Giants at pick 3. So I've said this before, I'll say it again. If Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter are off the board, the number one option for me is to trade down, which is exactly what I did in this mock draft. So for this mock draft, I traded down with the Jets. Now, because the Jets are an AFC East opponent, a lot of people would say, oh, the Patriots wouldn't do this, blah, blah, blah. If the Patriots did this, it would have to be a suck tax, which is why I, as the Patriots guy, or as the Patriots GM, said we're going to get the 7th overall pick, a future first, and their second round pick. Now, that's a suck tax. You're not going to give them a free, 3 spots up in the AFC East because you're going to have to be playing them. So you're going to say, hey, it sucks that you're in our division, so we're going to charge you a little bit extra because we don't want to do it. But if they feel like, hey, we need to get in front of some of these teams and get Shadur, or they feel like someone's going to jump them, maybe they'll feel like they can do it. So that's what I did there. And then with the 7th overall pick, I took my offensive lineman number 2 in this class, or offensive tackle number 2 in this class. I have Josh Simmons as number 1, but because of some of the injury stuff, I don't think he'll come off the board as tackle number 1, but I think in 3 years, he could be the best tackle. But Armand Membou is 6'4" and a quarter, 332 pounds. He has 33.5-inch arms. This dude tested like a freak at the NFL Combine. 34-inch vert, which was in the 97th percentile. 9'7" broad, which was in the 97th percentile. He also ran a 4.91, which was in the 97th percentile also. This guy's a 2-year starter playing 1,900 plus snaps at right tackle. He gave up 0 sacks this year. He had the 9th best run blocking grade. And he's one of the younger prospects. He's not even 21 yet. This guy is super twitched up. He has elite movement skills, one of the best athletes at the offensive line position. He has supernatural strength and power getting out of his hips in both the run and the pass game when he gets latched onto you. Good length, unlike some of the other guys in this class that are, being probably bumped into guard. He has a 33.5-inch arm length, which is good for tackle. He's great in space. He's really good at reaching defensive ends, even though they're in a 9 technique, whatever it is. He has the power to move defenders in the run game and the athleticism to get to the second level. He's super nasty. He finishes the plays. He wants to pile drive you. And he had a huge improvement from 2023 to 2024, which I think is good as a young prospect who still, in my opinion, has the best football ahead of him. The jump to see that he took this year from 2023 to 2024 should be very encouraging for a lot of people. I think he does have a little bit of inconsistent hands. He misses wide at times. He does drop his eye on contact when he is in the pass set. If guys are doing a counter move, he can drop his eyes and miss at times. He still needs to get stronger to hold up for bull rushes. I thought that he had a little bit of an anchoring problem, and he's not the ideal NFL offensive tackle height, but honestly, in this class, I'm not going to shy away from it because the arm length is one of the bigger things for me, and he's had really good film. Now, here's the caveat to this, right? We just signed Morgan Moses, so now they're like, hey, who's going to be the left tackle? I think for the Patriots to take Armand Membou, they would have to feel comfortable about switching him to left tackle. Now, if you look at this, Joe Alt was a left tackle most of the time last year. They moved him to right tackle. I think that you would have to feel comfortable and confident that he can make the move easier than Caden Wallace. If you're getting a top 10 pick at offensive tackle position, and you're not going to play him in your original spot, it has to be even more confidence that he can do it and more, that you're going to put him there and let him succeed there. So that would be the question. I would like to see if he could play a little bit of left tackle. If the Patriots don't believe it at all, maybe they won't do it. Now, Eli Drinkowitz, Missouri's head coach, said that he played right tackle out of necessity. Javon Foster was a NFL draft pick last year. He wasn't a first-round pick like Armand Membou, but he was a 4-year starter for Missouri, so he never needed to play left tackle. So can he legitimately play left tackle as a first-round pick? That would be the question. That would be awesome if he could. Then you would have Armand Membou. You could, say who's going to be our left guard. We'll figure it out. Layden Robinson, City So, whoever it is. Center would be Garrett Bradbury, Michael Winu at right guard, and then Morgan Moses at right tackle. Seems like a pretty dang good offensive line for me. So that would be the question that I would want answered. Make another trade here, getting back up into the first round with the Commanders, trading a second and a third. And that's for New England to take Nic Scourton, a defensive end, interior defensive line. This is what we'll talk about here, out of Texas A&M. Now, he was listed at 6'4", 280 pounds this year at Texas A&M. This dude can play anywhere from a 4-eye in a 3-4 scheme to maybe even an outside backer in a 3-4 scheme, because at the combine, he weighed in at 6'3", 257. Now at Purdue, before he transferred to Texas A&M, he also played a little bit light. So the 257 weight is what he played at Purdue, and what he weighed in at, which was contradictory to what he played at Texas A&M this year. So it's interesting. He's played a lot of really different type of positions, and he's kind of a do-it-all type of guy. It's just depending on what you want. At Purdue, he showed a different wide variety of pass rush moves. I thought he was better at Purdue pass rush-wise than he was at Texas A&M. Some of his strengths, he can carry different weight, right? If you want him to be a 3-4 outside backer, he can play at 260. If you want him to be like a 4-eye in a 3-4 or maybe a defensive end in a 4-3, he can play at 280 there. So he can do either or. It just depends on where you view him best. He has experience playing both the right and left side. He has really good pass rush moves. I think he has super heavy hands. He jolts guys back, which obviously you need to have if you're going to play interior defensive line. And I think he's comfortable zone dropping. The question is like, oh, well, he's a edge rusher, interior defensive lineman. Can he play 3-4 outside backer? I thought he showed really good, awareness in his zone drops, and that's because he's done it before. So I really like that. I don't think he's violent enough. He has really good hands, but throwing off blocks, getting off of them, not quite as violent as I would like. Plays with a little bit of high pad level, and then his arm length was 33 inches exactly. So that is actually pretty good. I did have questions about that before he measured in at the combine. But Nic Scourton, an edge defender that can play multiple different things for the Patriots. See how they would like him. Would be interesting to see what his fit is. Shavon Revel for East Carolina. This is a guy who, in my opinion, if he did not get hurt this year for East Carolina, could have easily have been a top 15 pick. Talk about a athletic freak, a guy that will compare to Zion McCollum, who came out a couple years ago, who was super athletic. And then I'm trying to think, there was one other one. Now his name is escaping me. Maybe it will come back. Tyreek Woolen, who obviously has been very good in his first couple years with the Seattle Seahawks. So Shavon Revel is a guy who, in my opinion, could have been super highly drafted if he wasn't hurt. He's 6'2", 194 pounds. He had 32 and 5/8 inch arms at the combine. This dude has some of the best feet, and his ability to mirror receivers that I've seen in a while. His change of direction is great. He's super competitive. He has good length you want for an outside corner. He shows strength. He shows the ability to catch up to guys if they do beat him. I do think that's where he lacks, is he's just a little bit, he doesn't have the technical aspect of the cornerback position yet, but he can get there. But with his feet, his footwork, his speed, the crazy athleticism, he has everything that you want out of a outside corner. Now, I know the Patriots just signed Carlton Davis. They have Christian Gonzalez. So this would be, hey, where is his fit? But the Patriots have also said they're about drafting the best player available. And if Shavon Revel is still there at 38, they might view him, even though he's coming off an ACL injury, is he the best player available? Think of guys that have fallen because of injuries in the past, and they've all turned out to be pretty good players. So that could be the conversation for the Patriots for Shavon Revel out of East Carolina coming up here in the next couple of months for the Patriots draft. Moving on to a receiver that I really like. This is a guy that's going to play in the slot position. I am getting, I originally had Xavier Restrepo ahead of him. I now have Jaylin Noel ahead of Restrepo for a couple reasons. But Jaylin Noel is 5'10" and a quarter, 194 pounds. He's super strong, has a super good compact build, 23 reps on the bench press. He ran a 4.3940. He also jumped 41.5 inches on the vert and 11.2 on the broad. He had over 1,100 yards this year at Iowa State. Both him and Jaden Higgins were a great duo for Rocco Beck for the Cyclones. 9 touchdowns. He had the 4th most deep yards with 609, and he had 14 catches of 20-plus yards down the field, which was top 10 in the country. This guy is an elite route runner. You talk about a guy that can get in and out of his breaks and run the whole route tree. That's Jaylin Noel. Super sharp plants and cuts, moves with ease, great burst to pull away from defenders when he's getting out of breaks. Guys don't stick with him very easily because he can outrun them. He can run the complete route tree. He has a little bit of return value, and he's a big-time deep play threat. Even though he's a little smaller guy, he can run past you in the slot and get open down the field, which the Patriots have been lacking for the last couple of years. So, the elite short area quickness and the ability to get open in the short to intermediate, plus the ability to extend the field, Jaylin Noel could be there. He has had 19 drops in the last 4 years. That's a little bit of an issue. A little bit smaller hands also. He has under 9-inch hands, which for a small guy is a little bit of a concern, especially with his nagging drops. Now, when I say they're drops, a lot of them are on screen passes or, passes within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. So I don't know if they're concentration drops. I don't know if they are coming from his hands, but then he also has really good plays down the field where he's able to reel in passes with defenders. So I don't think he's he's drop happy, but he's had a couple of those, which might be an indication of some of the short hand measurements, which we've seen. I think he's limited to just a slot, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because he's really good out of the slot. And then size and length is going to be a concern there. He's not great at making people miss yards after the catch wise, which hopefully he could because of how dynamic he is and how explosive he is. But in college, and as of right now, not a huge yak guy, in my opinion. Last pick for the Patriots, I have them taking Bayshaw Tutin. This is a running back that a lot of you guys might say, oh, this name sounds familiar. How do I know him? He ran the fastest 40-yard dash amongst running backs, 4.32 at the combine. He had a 1.49 10-yard split, which was in the 99th percentile. He had a 40.5-inch vert, which was first amongst running backs, and a 10'10" broad, which was tied for second. He is small. He's 5'9" and a quarter, 206 pounds. But this guy's a home run hitter. He has that open field speed. He has a thick lower half, good center of gravity. He's really good in pass pro. He step up and strikes you in pass pro, even though he's a little bit smaller. Elite burst, always falls forward on contact. You don't see him falling to the side or getting driven back. He falls forward and gets an extra yard or two. He doesn't give you much laterally, and he has had 8 fumbles in the last 2 seasons. We've been dealing with that as Patriots fans with Ramondre Stevenson. So that would be interesting to see how, obviously Josh McDaniels wants that. And, the quickest way to not get on the field as a early or as a rookie running back is if you fumble the ball. We've seen that too with a lot of positions. I think he needs to be a better receiving threat. Now, this is why I don't know if this is a fit for the Patriots, is because they've said they want to get a pass catching running back in the system for Josh McDaniels. Guys like Brashad Smith, who I've drafted before, RJ Harvey, who I have one spot higher than Bayshaw Tutin as my running back 9, maybe fit that mold a little bit better. But Bayshaw Tutin should be better in the passing game. With his speed, with his dynamic, with his size, he should be able to. So maybe they see something in him. Maybe they want to get him involved in the passing game a little bit more. I really thought that this guy running-wise reminded me of Chase Brown. So if he could figure it out pass catching wise, he might be a fit for the Patriots in the 5th round as that pass catching running back. And then last thing I wanted to talk about, reuniting Michael Mayer, who was a former 2nd-round pick out of Notre Dame, big-time tight end, with Josh McDaniels, who obviously was there when they drafted him. He's kind of getting passed up by Brock Bowers. Not kind of. He is getting passed up, and he will never play over Brock Bowers. So does Josh McDaniels want to get Michael Mayer. Now, I think that he's very similar to Hunter Henry, but he's younger and he's cheaper. And Hunter Henry has a out after this year in the season. And Austin Hooper only has a 1-year contract. So what is the future at tight end? Instead of the Patriots having to draft a tight end, they could take a guy who was highly sought after just a couple draft classes ago and has a connection with Josh McDaniels in that offense. So I like the idea of Michael Mayer. I had the Patriots giving up a 4th and a 7th for him. That honestly might be too much. But that's what, PFF's was saying he was going for. It's not about the compensation. It's about the idea. I would probably just give up a 4th for him. He was a former 2nd round pick, and he still is very young, and he does a lot of really good in both the pass and the run blocking game. So I would really like Michael Mayer for now and for the future as a pass catcher for Drake Maye, and with a little bit of connection. So let me know what you guys think down below. We are going to continue to do live drafts. If you guys are watching this before Thursday, we actually have a live draft coming up with Alex Barth on the channel. We have something a little bit planned there that will be fun. So make sure you have post notifications turned on so that when we go live, you guys can tune into that, have a little bit of a saying there. And then obviously like and subscribe so that you guys can stay up to date whenever we go live, whenever we upload more videos. We'll have a couple more draft talk videos and live streams coming up, of course, with Mock Draft Monday. So appreciate all the support. And until next time, we will talk to you guys later.